An absence of tests is creating an abundance of problems for our first responders. Police officers and firefighters often have no way of knowing if they're carrying coronavirus. And that leads to one of two things. Neither are good. The first is potentially spreading disease, and the second is crucial employees being sidelined. Here is Contact 7 investigator Jennifer Kowaleski.
While many of us are staying at home,
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Aurora police and firefighters are still going out on calls and interacting with the public in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic.
They're having face-to-face interaction with our community every day.
But City Councilman Curtis Gardner worries they don't have all the protection they need.
Certainly a shortage at one point, or at least not enough of certain types of PPE.
He recently wrote this op-ed to advocate for first responders in what he views as a lack of testing.
First responders are spending time making their own cleaning solutions and things like that. That's less time that they can be out doing the job that they're supposed to be doing.
Do you have adequate testing for first responders right now?
They were having issues getting tests in a timely manner or maybe not meeting the minimum threshold.
Gardner says 4 Aurora officers and 4 firefighters have tested positive for COVID-19, but the impact on the workforce is much greater.
Self-quarantined at home, off the job because of exposure, potential exposure.
He says 120 officers were off the job in self-quarantine, but only 38 of those were tested for COVID-19. Nearly 50 firefighters have been in quarantine, while just over 30 were tested for the virus.
And so that's a concern.
City Councilwoman Allison Hiltz told us in a statement, an inability to get tested, whether at all or in a timely manner, makes it difficult to determine precisely how many of our first responders are potentially carrying COVID-19. It also leads to a lot of uncertainty.
Of course, there are limited tests available, and so it obviously does need to be prioritized.
Gardner says the interim police chief recently spent $50,000 to buy 2,000 rapid antibody tests.
If they do have those antibodies present, is hopefully get moved to the front of the line for testing.
But he wants to see more done to expand testing for Aurora first responders on the front lines.
Make sure that those folks get that test. We can find out if they have COVID-19. And if they don't, they can get back to the job that they love.
I'm Contact 7 investigator Jennifer Kowaleski.